Okay. Can you hear me? Okay, so thank you for everyone to join this second webinar organized by iCare Smart Project through the Silver Star platform. The purpose of this webinar are to explain and share best practices supporting co-creation in the with the topic innovation of solution of devices, of everything that can improve the quality of life of older adults regarding their health, their independent living, and so on. Today, Zsolt Bubori is presenting the EIT Health, and in particular is presenting the healthcare ecosystem, because he is developing an innovative healthcare ecosystem in Hungary. So I don't want to lose too much time. I leave the floor to Zsolt. Thanks a lot. And please, the floor is yours.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for having me. I'm going to share my screen, and I will give you a presentation about our work in Hungary and also in the European Union. I hope you can hear me and you can see my screen. So yes. Good morning. Thank you. Good morning. I'm Zsolt Bubori. I'm the ecosystem lead for Hungary within EIT Health. And for start, I would like to tell some basic things about these words. For example, EIT is the European Institute of Innovation and Technology, funded by the European Union, and there are some subsidiaries of that. For example, EIT Health is one of them, responsible for healthcare in Europe. Our main mission is in European Union countries and in Europe, and I'm responsible for Hungary. Innovate the healthcare ecosystem, innovate the healthcare processes, and get a better life for the patients, for the European Union citizens. So we are supporting, organizing, and managing Europe-wide consortiums, project consortiums that would like to develop the healthcare system. I will tell you some details how we are doing this. So this is a real collaboration and co-creation work within European Union, academic sector, company sector, startup sector, and of course the governmental sector also. So basically we are a membership organization. Of course we are working other entities, not only our members, but in a couple of words, I would like to show how you can join to this network, because we are the biggest healthcare network in Europe. We have several assets. If you are going to work or join or collaborate or co-create with EIT Health, you will have, first of all, access for the EIT Health network, which is the biggest healthcare innovation network in Europe. You are going to find partners and we're going to help you. And you are going to work with partners in different innovation topics, in different projects. And of course, there is a big function. We're going to share the best practices. We are transmitting the best practices between European Union countries and between projects. At the second, of course, you're gonna have access these EIT Health projects. Those are leading innovation projects within European Union, and you can participate. Also, you can lead those European healthcare projects, which should be funded and granted around 30 or 40 or 50% of the full costs of that project by EIT Health or EIT. So you are going to be a really active part of the European innovation community within healthcare. At third, you're gonna have the access for the EIT Health startup ecosystem. It's very important for us to working with innovative startup companies. For me in Hungary, of course, but I'm contacted all my European Union colleagues, and this is a European Union-wide project, not only in Hungary. We are working a lot of startups, especially three main fields. One is the biotechnology, other is the digital health, and we are working some companies with pharmaceutical industry, of course, and we are working for medical technology companies. We are supporting, managing, and contacting them to partners within healthcare, within our healthcare network. So you can minimize the risk to meet and work with qualified startups. We have so many services that we can filter those startups to have a trusted startup network. And of course, if you will be a partner, you will have influence the EIT has strategy, because our partners, not just our clients, in a way are partners in a kind of ownership within EIT Health. So it means they can influence our strategy, they can influence our goals, our proposals, our directions to move forward. So this is a real collaboration and co-creation work together. So you can drive the changes and define topics, important topics within healthcare, which is important to you. At the end of this process, we have a common goal: change and develop the whole ecosystem and framework within European Union in healthcare. So if you will collaborate or join this network, you will have a couple of benefits. First of all, you will have access to Europe's largest cross-border health innovation network. And this is really a co-creation and collaboration work. You will have access to decision makers, policymakers, governmentals, and influencers at European Union level to help shape the healthcare landscape. It's a safe access to the healthcare startup ecosystem. It's a filtered and it's based on best practices. We have selected the most innovative startup companies, and we contact those companies to our partners, to our network. Of course, you will have ability to work in healthcare's most innovative projects, and of course, you will have a full daily support and dedicated team that will help you any kind of operational issues or any kind of strategic issues. You can imagine this collaboration between partners and us, EIT Health, as a kind of key account management. You will have, of course, granting opportunities. We have important calls each and every year, area of innovation, area of education, and area of business creation. I will talk about them later. It's obvious you have great networking opportunities, matchmakings, or pitch sessions, or so many competitions. And if you will be a partner, you will have voting rights and participation rights in strategic events. We have different membership structures. I don't want to talk about this in detail. It's from 5,000 euro to 75,000 euros. It's different by Sorry, I have a network issue, but I'm back, so I'm continuing my presentation. Sorry for this.
Don't worry, please go ahead if you're able to share the screen.
Yes, please. Thank you.
We were on slide number 2 up to no, number 3, sorry. The last slide we saw.
Yes, okay. This was it?
Yes.
This? Thank
Yes,
you.
it was this.
Sorry for that was a network. Yeah, it's a network issue. This is a network of internet, not a network of healthcare. So you will have to ensure a dedicated team to maximize your opportunity when you're gonna join us, because it's not enough to join a healthcare network. You will have a dedicated team for that to maximize the business results, and of course, you will have to know exactly what would you like to gain from a network, what can you offer to other partners, and what is your requirements from other partners. It's very, very important. Not enough to changing the business cards. You will have to have a clear value proposition, each and every entity. In that case, we can maximize your business results. So as I mentioned already, we have already built the Europe's largest health innovation network. It's about 150 or 200 world-class organizations, which are our partners. These organizations from the academic sector, clinics mainly, and other scientific institutions, big companies, multinational companies, small and medium enterprises, and of course, so many startups. By the way, we have partners from the governmental, couple of ministry, couple of secretaries, and policymakers and regulators. So we have so many partners in the European Union. We are a European Union body financed by the Horizon Europe project, Horizon Europe budget. And we are working across borders, not only for one or two countries. When we are establishing a consortia, a project, it's almost always requirement. Let's try to make it international. So it's really a co-creation and collaboration work between countries and European Union countries and nations. We have three main goals. First of all, strengthening healthcare systems in Europe. It means we are doing innovations which affect the system itself, which affect the main operations and the main processes in healthcare. Of course, always a goal, and the final goal is better health for citizens. We love physicians, we love businessmen, we love doctors and back office employees, but our main goal is give a better life and health to the citizens, not for the other persons or entities, because end of the day, healthcare will better if patients will better service. Contributing to a sustainable health economy environment. So that means we are very focusing the financial sustainability and the environmental sustainability. We are selecting our projects based on these requirements. There has to be financial sustainability and of course environmental. Our general impact in a nutshell, we at the last couple of years, we have investment attracted by startups up to 200 million euros. So as I've already mentioned, we are managing so many startups within European Union, and with our help or with our influence, there are hundreds of million investments has been raised on those startups. We have almost 100 products and services to market has been launched. That is a tangible result of the innovation, of course. We have so many, around 700 or 800 startups has been supported and managed. with different programs, education programs, business creation programs, or matchmaking events, contacted events. And we have a strong education leg, which means more than 30,000 graduates and professionals have been already trained in our education programs. Those education programs are created our partners as a projects. So as maybe you know, and I already mentioned, we have three main pillars: innovation, business creation or accelerator, and campus or education. In the innovation, there are more than 160 innovation projects has been already supported and managed via grant system, and more than 55 products or services already brought to the market. In accelerator or business creation, it's focusing the startups, scaling those startups, help them to gain new markets in European Union, help them to enter other markets in European Union. More than 700 supported startups already, with the raised money, a couple of million euros. And in campus, in education, we are launching education programs done by our partners or consortia. We have reached so many citizens, as you see in the slide, and we have reached so many, not only citizens, graduated professionals and graduated subject matter experts. So you can see here our network. We are organizing, this is a whole big general European Union network, but also the focus. That's why you are see the different colors. The focus and the methods and the operational functions a little bit different regarding the development level of the healthcare ecosystem. In the Eastern countries, we have the InnoStars, that's a big hub, focusing, developing a non so much matured healthcare ecosystem. Of course, in France or Belgium or Ireland, UK is not anymore at our focus because of the Brexit. And as you know, we are a European Union body. There are some different methods and operational functions. So, in a nutshell, you will have, if you would like to work with the EIT Health or would like to contact with the EIT Health, you will have an access to knowledge and talents from world-leading organizations and institutions, and you can co-create and collaborate with others. You will have patient and market insights. Of course, you will have access to data, to important data, healthcare data. We have regulatory affairs support. We can have testing and validation of products. It's based on CIMIT regulations. It's a clinical validation. It could be business validation, technology validation, and regulatory validation. And of course, we can help you in market access, funding, and education areas. We have three main partner categories. Core partners is our most important partners, which means it's around 75,000 euros each and every year. That's a membership fee. But you're gonna have a strategic and operational influence to our work, to our strategy and goals and operations. There is no limit to level of funding request, no limit to have a grant. And we have associate partners. It's a 30,000 membership fee per year. There are so many rights without some restrictions in the votings. If I similar to that, the core partners. And of course, we can work for everybody, not only for membership paid fees, bodies or companies or institutions. We call that external project partners. There is no fees. You will have no rights to, as a kind of ownership rights. You will have no ownership rights, but of course we are happy to work everybody, and we can link so many entities, companies, academic, and maybe governmental entities also to this really huge network, and working co-creation and collaboration projects together. These are some examples of our partners. You can see big companies like big multinational IT companies like SAP. For example, you can see big pharmaceutical companies like Roche and Sanofi. These are just the biggest, of course, but you can see the academic sector, University of Barcelona, ESA. So you can search for our partners in our website. And we have expertise from three main areas. When I'm talking that we're supporting the projects, that means we have a coaching and mentoring network. We have so many subject matter experts, especially from pharmaceutical, medical technologies, and digital healthcare. We are working so many universities and healthcare providers, also research institutions, and of course with payers. So our membership structure is covered by all important entities if you would like to innovate in healthcare sector. We have global industry leaders, of course. 6 of the top 10 global pharma and medtech companies are part of the EIT Health. Also, we are a European Union body, but we have some legs to USA and UK, of course. We have an investor network. We can find money for you. And of course, we have so many innovative universities and leading educators in our network. So in a nutshell, and that will be the last slide after I'm waiting for the questions, some real examples how we are going to work together and how we are working together with our partners. For example, GE Healthcare is an important partner of Hungary and of European Union. Research collaborations between academic researchers and industry are essentially helping to understand unmet clinical needs and in developing appropriate technology solutions to address those needs. This is said by GE. For example, there is a Hello AI program which led by GE Healthcare, organized by GE Healthcare and supported by EIT Health. They are introducing the AI message, the AI importance in healthcare to physicians and to other healthcare employees. They are teaching them how they can use in a clinical practice and in daily practice AI supported diagnostic equipments or other things. So we can talk about AI in a theoretic way, but we have a program in a practical way in a daily practice how physicians can work with AI. There is another example from Imperial College London. They are providing an education for students for all around the world. It's a very common projects in our education pillar when 1 or 2 or 3 academic sector or universities just go together for a program and create a consortia, and they're trying to get and offer better services for their students and better services for their universities in their network. It's really important, not only for the students, it's important for R&D activities within universities also. And this is the example from the Trinity College in Dublin. It's about researching, and they are doing how can scale the innovation and how can scale the entrepreneurship programs. So I'm waiting for your questions. I'm happy to have this presentation to you. Sorry for the network issues, but that was only a IT network, not a healthcare network.
Thanks a lot for your presentation. It's really impressive, I mean, and is exactly the purpose of our series of webinars to explain this opportunity that you provide both to companies and then institutions to identify a way to trust each other. What is for me important that you explained at the very beginning, that the small enterprise or startup are in some way monitored from you, and you can identify them and as trusted companies. And how do you share this information? Or you can provide a kind of, certification, or just it's something that you have in your network, and if someone joins your network can see those businesses?
Yes. So when we are working with startups, that means basically it's free for startups. Also, we can support startups with some money. We are pitching them, we are make competitions to them, and we are helping them, for example, scaling their services or go abroad, find a new market. That's why we have a database of these startups. So we don't have any stamps or any certification, but we have a trusted database. We know those track records, the track records of the startups, because we have seen them in pitching, we have seen their financials, financial numbers, their KPIs. We have an experience about their matchmaking behavior, and we know what they required and what they can offer to them. So we have a database which is to be shared only our partners and only based on agreement of those startups. But you know, my main work is connecting and contacting to each other. For example, there are so many examples that one partner asked me, "Hey, Zsolt, we are need just a question of today. One of my partner need a deep expertise within AI and deep learning, and they are looking for the startup in France. So my work is to find those tracked, record, and filtered startups. I will give them 5 or 6, and they will contact each other. That's the way it works. You are muted.
Good. No, I mean, that is wonderful, because with this last example, you better explain that is not a reality just local, it's really an European reality. So what we can leave on the table for future discussion, it's how to the other companies that if they are, even if they are small, they can have a kind of visibility at European level, thanks to these networks, that thanks to the work you are doing, and probably the other EIT Health network tried to do. And on the contrary, it's really interesting in the example. Then I leave the floor to the colleagues online for other questions. The research center that look at you to approve the method, or to share the ideas, and to identify how to reach the market, or how to improve the approach. Is it right?
Absolutely. In a nutshell, when the innovation or the business process start with an invention, at the end of the invention, we are entering this process with the business and clinical and IT and regulatory validations. And you know, R&D means from money to make knowledge. What we are doing after the invention, we trying to make money from the knowledge again. So yes, we are a business focused company. We are not granting and supporting basic R&D. We are supporting R&D in R&D based inventions to the market to make business of that.
Okay, if there are some questions, you can put it on the chat or just raise your hand for the present invited persons. But if I have time, I have another question. Sorry for that. It is you are, of course, looking for to improve the position on the market or the quality of the products of the businesses in the health sector. But there is space also for independent researcher to be in contact with the businesses, or you more look at, I mean, institution?
Both. We are looking for institutions and companies, of course. But for example, we have a program and you can search via Google. It's called Jumpstarter. EIT has Jumpstarter, which is a program each and every year. We are looking for individuals and teams before they have set or established a company. We are looking for only teams and groups of inventors or businessmen who have something in their mind, who have only an idea, only a business or invention idea. And this program called Jumpstarter, EIT has Jumpstarter, help them to create a business model and help them to create a company. So there are so many stages of the startup journey or innovation ecosystem journey. We have almost have program for every kind of step of that. So we are looking for individuals and we are looking for companies also and institutions. So we are looking for profit and non-profit companies both.
That is so really good. It's a 360-degree of looking at innovation and the sector that is exactly what the co-creation must do. So to involve all the, so the key is the innovation and the ideas, more or less. So you're looking for ideas wherever the sources are, person, companies, or institution. And if they are innovative and in the healthcare sector, they can be pursued and try to have a collaborator. And I don't see if there are someone, please, I don't want to lose the time of Zsolt only for myself or my curiosity, but it's really what we have called identify now our tools. Your activity is really more than networking. It's kind of mixed. So you produce networking, but at the same time, you are a facilitator. At the same time, you are an incubator. So it's really complicated. How many expertise you involved in your activities?
The basic staff of EIT Health in Europe, it's a couple of 100 persons. I don't know the exact number, but it could be around 500 or 600. But these are only the persons like me or my colleagues who are helping to facilitate something, helping to facilitate the innovation. We have a mentoring and coaching network with thousands of people, thousands of them from a different areas of interest for different business or clinical competencies or legal competencies. So we have a huge access to our to our mentoring and coaching network. This network can be offered to by partners, of course. And we have an investor network also. And you know, investor don't have only just money, they have exceptional connections and network and experience. So we have access to couple of 100 investors, from business angels until venture capitals or governmental funded accelerator hubs. Yes, we are trying to to facilitate this whole ecosystem, not leading and not only financing and managing. Facilitating is the right word. Yeah.
Okay, if you have to leave a suggestion to any new entrepreneur that would like to share the idea or to increase their business market, what is the very simple suggestion you can provide?
For an entrepreneur, I should suggest learn to trust on each other, because there will be a business, and business is important because an invention that can access to the patient in an affordable cost, in a added value service, that is a business. So you have to trust to your colleagues and each other, and of course this trust can be documented. It can be contracted, and if you are setting up a team or a company, please do it international. Please involve, for example, in Hungary, I'm working in Hungary. If I talk with entrepreneurs and they would like to set up a company, I always suggest, please involve somebody from abroad, involve an English people, involve French, Germany, or any kind of thing, because your way of thinking will be better fit. And Hungary is too small. If we would like to have sustainability in a financial and environmental perspective, that means we have to think minimum within Europe, the whole Europe. So think really Europe-wide, create an international team, and trust each other. Don't be afraid to put to the market your idea, but of course trust has to be based very well documented contracts and legal syndicatal contracts, and of course you will have to have the patience for your service or solutions.
Yes, I see. And this is not only for Hungary, it's for every country, because now we are, even if we are big, we are small with respect to the opportunities and also the common ideas that can arrive from different sides of the Europe, even if the healthcare, it's common, it's a problem, it's a situation that it's for all. Let me say, we can use for
Absolutely.
all as like it's an inclusive way. So I would like to thank you so much. Just a few seconds for a last minute questions, if some of you would like it. The next, let me just introduce the next webinar that will be more about the Living Lab. That's it's a different approach of the same problem. I think you already have experience in Living Lab, probably with your network. So, and could you envisage how a company can advantages of the activities of the Living Lab and the activities of your network, because they cover different aspects, more or less, even if they are overlapped. So do you have any last minute suggestion about it?
Yes, in my perspective, Living Labs is a great safety test tool for your healthcare idea, because the innovation and go to the business process is different, of course, each and every sector. So much easier to go to a market, for example, in a FMCG industry, like in the healthcare industry, because there are so many strict regulations, there are so many strict physicians and patient constraints, not to mention GDPR. So Living Lab is a great safety tool in a minimal cost to test your healthcare solutions. it's a little bit similar than in IT sector doing. When IT sector is developing something, they are also involve the end users in the development phase. That is living lab in healthcare, in my perspective. Let's involve the end user, the patient, in the development phase.
Yes, I agree with you. So that the idea is exactly that one. We can to leave a suggestion for a newborn companies to look at the AIT, to support and their method to understood if they can achieve a market, to whom collaborate, and use the Living Lab also for testing the idea to have a better way to achieve the market in the correct way with the product that is already experienced by the end user, so you can achieve the market with an advantage. And look around all the Europe with your support, of course, because for a small company this is too much difficult.
We are ready for any collaborations, of course. Yes.
So I would like to thank you so much for your time, for this presentation, and for the people who stay here hearing. And we are going also to share the recording of this meeting in order to support also people that was not able to attend today, to see the suggestion and to encourage them to contact you and to improve their market with a trusted collaboration through companies and through the system that you build up, ecosystem for the health. So thanks a lot. Have a nice day.
Thank you so much. Have a nice day to you all.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.